Hare Krishna. So, chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, contents of Gita summarized. Text number 7. Repeat with me. Karpanya dosho apahata swabhavaha pruchhami tvam sarma dharma samdhuda cheta. Yashreyasya nishritam bhuvitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So Arjuna is saying, now I am confused about my duty and I have lost all my composure because of miserly weakness. Karpanya. Karpanya means miserliness. It is a dosha. It is a weakness of heart. Because miserliness means we fear of losing something which we uh, think is very valuable on a bodily level. So from these words, actually, Arjuna puts end to his, his intelligence. He says, now I cannot understand what to do. Please accept me as your disciple. So I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. And now I am your disciple and soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. So I was talking about this is actually the most fortunate position for a living entity, where he says that I don't know anything and I need some help. Then, if he is he is at the proper source, authorized personality, then he can get the transcendental knowledge. Because what is needed for what is the criteria, what is priority to advance in devotional services, the lowlyam, the sharanagati, the earnestness to know about Krishna. That will bring up, that will be the channel for Krishna to enter that person's heart. So Prabhupada writes that actually this is the situation of the material world from the very beginning, right? All the activities of material world are source of perplexity for everyone. Perplexity means the anxiety, the chaos, always chaos. And we have to utilize our intelligence and experience to come out of it. But when the calamity happens in the sense when person like Arjuna is like anybody who comes to confront someone who is very close to him, that creates the most biggest confusion. That's what is happening right. So the Prabhupada writes, the sansara dava nalalidha lok. This material world means it's a forest fire. So to solve all the perplexities of the life, we have to understand the science of the solution. Science of solution means we need to approach a bona fide suitability. So this is the first foremost important thing. The Krupanas we are discussing, Krupanas are those are misers who who can do anything to save whatever they cherish very valuable. Even though they may do the self harm. Miser he will not eat, but he'll save money for future like that. So here what is happening? The prince of Kuru dynasty is ready to ask, go for begging just to do something of a compassion for the unwanted person. It's a weakness of heart, or you can say it is a miserliness. So it is 2.7. So one who doesn't understand the problems of life is a miser. Who is a miser? Who doesn't understand the problems of life. So we can say from a person who is bewildered, there is a different definition of miserliness. Right? Those who are earning money, they know how to enjoy the money. They know how to spend it and enjoy. From their point of view, the miserliness is different. But those who understand the actual value of life, for them the definition of miserliness is different. The The student of Bhagavad Gita, he understands those who do not utilize the human form of life for spiritual perfection are misers, right? They fall for petty things. So we understand from the Gita and Bhagavat that human form of life is the most valuable asset a jiva can have. But still we see everybody, every one of us are having a disease. What is that disease? So Prabhupada write that disease is skin disease. Skin disease means bodily attachment. Me and mine. So that miserliness is found everywhere. So Prabhupada write the value of human form of life in the second paragraph. Nrideham adyam sulabham sudurlabham plabam sukalpam guru karnadharam vayanukulena navassuteritum puman bhavabdim na taret sa atmaha. So those who do not understand and don't utilize the human form of life for spiritual perfection, they are like person who are committing suicide. Atmaha means suicide. We have gone through NOD, and so we know this particular word. So the human form of life is like a boat which can be used to cross the ocean of material existence. For that we need a as a captain, captain of ship. So Guru can guide us where to go, what speed, and then we can cross this. But mostly what happens actually, we are so much attached to our bodily concept of. We are busy in fulfilling our bodily needs. So we forget to cross over the material world and quit the body like a cat and dog without understanding the self-realization. So that's why we need a spiritual master who can give us right understanding, right intelligence. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad yatshoka muchhoshana indriyana avapya bhumava asapatna mrudhyam rajyam surana api chadipatya. So he says that rajyam surana, that means even the kingdom of demigods, Indra, cannot make me happy. I cannot find no means to drive away this grief, which is which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win the prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. So he says he's finding out uselessness in even the winning this war. So this is what we have last time discussed in first chapter, the quality of Arjuna, who is very detached. He is not selfish, and as a general, as a individual person who is not responsible for his kingdom, this is good to be detached from the material world. But Arjuna is a responsible king. He has to take care of his kingdom and the praja, So for him, he has to follow the law and justice. We have to take out the adharmic elements. He has to approve the adharmic elements. So he can't be like acting on non-violence principle because he's a kshatriya. Prabhupada writes that kiba vipra kiba nasik shudra kenenai yahi krishna tattvaveta sahi guru hai. First thing is to understand our swarupa. That is what we are, eternal part and parcel of Krishna. We are servant of Krishna. To know this, there is no restriction for a person to be born in a certain family. Anybody who understands Krishna Tattva through the proper sources can actually become a guru. So, what are the real problems we have to tackle? We have to first identify them. Most of the people do not even understand. What are they? Birth, old age, disease, and death. These are the problems of material. Most of the people, if you ask, what will they say? What are the problems of material existence? If you generally ask, what will they come up with? Roti, kapda, makan, like that, and lack of resources to enjoy, so and so forth. So that's why we have to come to the right source and to find out. So if economic development and material comforts would drive away one's lamentation for family, national and international inabilities, then we can find Arjuna would not have said this, because he says, even I will give up the the heavenly kingdom also. So we find that there are so many people who are filthy rich, but they have no peace of mind. So, but those who do not have money, opulences, they think, no, 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 that's not the reason. If we get opulences, we'll be happy. So that's the tragedy. So, so Prabhupada always takes an opportunity to write in the purpose that we should also, in the flow of Gita, we should understand what is happening in the society. And how can we, because we have to first Janma Sarthaka Kari and Para Upakar. So we understand what needs to be done by us individually by knowing the Shastra. We should have to understand the pulse of society in the sense where we are living, what they, what is their way of life, and how to inculcate this knowledge into their life, first in our life, and how they are going, where they are going. So even the most intelligent people, most people who are on the high positions, they also have fallen down in such a way that they understand to achieve great opulences will give us happiness. But what happened? Material nature in a flick of second pulls them down, right? So the right understanding will actually give us happiness even in any situation. Later we'll come to know that our Krishna gives knowledge to Arjuna that if we are focused inside on the soul platform, then material situation will not matter. Whether you lose or win doesn't make sense. You are doing your duty, which is your prescribed duty, with proper understanding of the soul. So, so this 2.8 confirms the complete dependence and faith on Krishna. So no other means can drive away my grief. He's saying. So again, we as a devotee should have a proper balance, material and spiritual life. We never propose that we should live a poor life, and give up our responsibilities. No, we should actually, on the background, should know that our goal should be to keep our body and soul together so that we can advance spiritually also. That is our goal. Otherwise, what will happen? We may achieve all material success, but our lifespan will go and we'll not have opportunity to get any spiritual progress. So we should have a balanced approach towards life. How to uh, work materially and give time up to spiritual perfection. Okay. Next. So Sanjay says, Eva Mukta Rishikesham Gudakesha Parantapa Na Yotseti Govindam Uktva Tushtim Babuvaha. Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, who is Parantapa? Many of you couldn't answer this. What is Parantapa means? Arjuna has such a credit that he could chastise the enemy, a very powerful enemy. So he said, so that's why Sanjay said, Sanjay is speaking to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is actually thinking that yes, we could win, we could win. But even though the situation is where Arjuna is trying to, go away from the war, still Sanjay is telling him that still he is chastised from the enemy. That means he can win. So psychological pressure, like because Sanjay is a devotee. So he always gives him, he is telling Dhritarashtra that whatever your prospects are, will never going to be fulfilled. Don't worry. So he says, Govinda, I shall not fight. That's right. So Tamuvacha Rishikesha Prahasanneva Bharata Senayor Madhe Vishidantam Idam Vachaha. Now Krishna first time sees that my friend has become my disciple. It's a quite a situation. So he is mildly smiling because now he can't laugh because the friend is in a grief-stricken condition. So he'll become very morose. अरे इतना हंस रहा है तुमको शर्म नहीं आती. Are you getting it? So he's just smiling. अरे now he has understood my value. Something like that. So he says. So Prabhupada again speaks that Krishna's role, whatever Krishna plays role as a small child dependent on the parents or a friend who can be very open to any living entity. I mean his friend. It doesn't minimize his actual spiritual position, actual Bhagavan position. That we have to understand. He is a Rasaraj. Rasaraj means he always enjoys all the mellows. So he says, so now 11 to 30, as we have seen, Arjuna is giving 5 reasons not to fight. What is the first reason? He says, compassion for the relative. So Krishna is now answering these doubts. So 11 to 30 is a knowledge about the soul. You are unnecessarily keeping compassion for the bodies of relatives, but we are not bodies. I mean, you are not bodies. We are soul. So Atma Gyan. So it's Ashochan Anvashuchastvam Pradnya Vadamsha Bhashase Gatasuna Gatatumsha Nanu Sochanti Panditaha. Krishna immediately chastises him. He says, you are talking like a learned person, but your activities are like very low class. You are mourning for what is not worthy of grace. Those who are wise and lament neither for living nor for the dead. The wise person knows that as the seasons come and go, we know nobody here stays forever. That's what wise person is. But you are talking like a miserly attached person, bodily concept. So immediately, so we have already told whenever a disciple accepts Guru's job is to actually bring him from the false ego platform to down. Upanishad, sit and listen now. So disciple should actually behave as a fool in front of the Guru, spiritual master. That I don't know anything. You just guide me. Om Agyanati Mirandas, Jnananjana Shalakaya. I am a fool. I can't understand anything. I am in deep ignorance. Please give me the light of knowledge. This is the position. So Krishna actually chastises Arjuna indirectly calling him, you are a fool. You are giving me all the uh, worldly knowledge, but this is not applicable here, right? So clear. So what is knowledge means? The definition of knowledge, what is knowledge means? Knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. What is matter? What is spirit? And who is the controller of both? That is knowledge. Whenever somebody asks you what is knowledge, so this is the definition. Somebody only speaking about, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, so I know entire body, how it works. But I know how machines work. That is not knowledge. You should know actually who is the knower of this, who is the what do you call that, controller of this matter and spirit. So Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetanam. So Bahiranga Shakti is dead, but still proprietor is Krishna. And Tatastha Shakti is actually it's his part and parcel, but still in the liberated and conditioned state, both states they are dependent on Krishna. So that's why he is controller of both matter and spirit. One who knows this, he is actually knowledgeable. Otherwise, he is a fool number one. So Krishna is calling Arjuna, you are fool. You don't know even that you are not body. You are fool. Primary knowledge is not there. नत्वेवाहं जातुनासं नत्वं देमे जनाधिप न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्. Now you are talking about, oh, what will happen to these people? They are going to die. Never ever there was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in future they will cease to exist. We will always stay. Only thing is, our body will change. We will be having 84 lakh species, different bodies. So we are always there, either here or there, in spiritual world or material. Because as a Anu, we are always susceptible to come under Maya. So, just like if suppose one person who is now come out of the prison, now I will never do anything. But still, if suppose an opportunity comes, he again may steal, again go back to. This may happen because that's why the reason we are tatastha. Tatastha means we are susceptible to go lower to the Maya. So Prabhupada writes that Krishna says, fight, there is no death for the soul, and body can never be saved. So there is no death for the soul, and body can never be saved. This is the theme of our 11 and to 30 verses. Spiritual soul is eternal and indestructible, while material body is temporary. So wise person never laments for living or dead. Now here in this 12th verse, this is very important for one who wants to know deeply what is Mayavad, yeah? Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan aspect of Paramsat. So Prabhupada writes that few Mayavadis actually proclaim that after liberation, the individual soul, separated by the covering of Maya, will merge into the impersonal will. What they say? Okay, now we are in the bondage stage conditions. But when we become liberated, what will happen? We will merge into Brahman and lose our individual existence. But Krishna says this is not possible. Why? Because our individuality will never lost. We already said, Natvevaham Jatu. We were in the past we were present in some another body. Now we are present, and in future we will always be present in some way. If you are liberated, they will be present in spiritual world as an individual, as a grass, as a tree, as a deer, tiger, or a man or a woman, anything, whatever our soul, we will exist. So this is that because so that's why one who knows this, he will never lament for death, neither for his or others, because he knows somewhere he will be there. And Indians know this because we have a parampara, Vedic parampara. We know. Everyone rickshaw wala knows. ये karma रहता है. If I do good, I will get good body. But outsiders do not know. Those who are non-Vedic culture, they do not know. But within the Vedic culture also, there is a particular course of the class of people who have this understanding that we will merge. Why? Because they are actually burned out of the the relationship with the body. Their existence means they say philosophy, intelligence means in this world everybody has a form, and one form reciprocates with other form. What happens? Mostly there is a distress problem. There is a problem in relationship, isn't it? So everywhere there is a problem because there are a form. And this world is a reflection of spiritual world. So here something is there means there it won't be there. Not a, they don't know they don't say it is a reflection, but whatever is here in the material world, it is not there. And so it is a place of happiness. And here there is a unhappiness, and everywhere is a form. So when there is a happiness means there is no form. Understanding me? So we lose form. So that is Shanti. So Am Brahma, we are the soul planet. They have no understanding about the soul, have a body, sort of a form, and what is the action, what the soul does. They don't. But Shanti, Aham Brahmasmi, that's the myth. That is Mayavad, first thing. So there is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Just listen to this theme, and then we'll go to later verses. So 2.12 to 2.26, there is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So Krishna says the individuality of a soul never lost. Natve naham jatu nasam. Therefore, there is no lamentation for death. Arjuna says, but change of body is still the cause of lamentation. It's a because Dronacharya and Vishnu will be dying in front of me. Krishna says, a change of body is as natural as boyhood to youth to old age. It's a natural process. So nobody laments for such a natural change. I was a boy, now I have become youth. No, anybody laments that? No, it is natural for everything. Arjuna says, but we do lament for loss of youth to old age. I was youth, now I have become. Krishna says, but Bhishma and Drona will get fresh bodies, which can be heavenly birth because they are very pious. So after death, they will become fresh. They will get fresh bodies. So there is no question of lamentation. Just like in Bhagavatam, King Yayati got cursed and he became a old man. So his son gave him youth. That became the reason for him to become happy. So Yayati had a long life of youth. Then again he gave back the youth to his son. So becoming youth is a reason for happiness. So both of them are now so old. Let them get a fresh body. Arjuna says, but attachment to current body of relatives will still be the cause of lamentation on losing them. Okay. So Krishna says, no choice. We have to tolerate it. Because such non-permanent dualities, they are non-permanent dualities. Summer is there, you have to tolerate. We can't say, like, why summer is there. Naturally, the winter will come. This is what we have to tolerate. This arises from the sense perception. Even if we don't kill Kauravas, still they are going to die anyway. They are going to die. We have to tolerate. Arjuna says violence incurs sinful reaction. Krishna says violence under my direction doesn't incur any sinful reaction. Later we'll feel purpose. Arjuna again said, Bhishma and Drona lose bodies which is giving them enjoyment now. Bhishma is so powerful. Even if old, he can fight all the youth. Krishna says, change of body is like change of dress. They will get fresh bodies and thus happiness. Vasamsi Dirnani Yathavya. So torn clothes will give opportunities on अरे नया ले लो लेकिन ये फटा हुआ बहुत हो गया. Then Diwali they buy new dress, लेकिन dress everybody doing happiness. And anyway, your weapons can't kill soul. Arjuna said, if there is no soul and there is a body all in all, we don't know. You know, some people have soul. किसने देखा है कि हम देखते तो body है पूरा. The body suppose है. What will happen? The Krishna says still there is no cause of lamentation for loss of chemicals. Scientists say कि हमारा body is worth only 110 rupees. If you calculate the only chemicals, क्या क्या है वो? So Krishna says, what is the use of lamenting for loss of some chemicals? So the further verses will have some kind of scientists they propose or Lokayatika, some philosophers. They say there was a certain situation in the ocean and some chemicals combined and then life began. So they say, what is the source of life? Combination of some chemicals in some particular environment. So what is the lamentation for some loss of chemicals? Again, a chemical will do. What is lamentation? Before the life was produced, there was nothing. So in both ways, there is no use of lamentation. So come out of lamentation. So 11 to 30 means give up your compassion, which is due to miserly weakness, unnecessary lamentation. So चिंता and चिता इसमें क्या फर्क है? एक बिंदु. तो चिंता वो कब जलाती है? जीवन पर जलाती है. और चिता लास्ट में. So both are we have to give it up. Either chinta we have to give it up. So lamentation kills. And who laments? One who is in ignorance. The knowledgeable person, actual Pandita who knows that we are soul indestructible, he will never lament. Okay. So here we are. Now, so Mayavad, how many now I want to ask you, what is Mayavad? What is your understanding about Mayavad? Those who feel envious of love. How can you say they are envious of love? Prove. So they say that we are now in Maya, but when we liberated, we become Lord. That's why they are sort of enemies, because Asuras also think the same. That we can actually dethrone God and we can become God. Same. Anything else? What is other understanding? That is the one main thing. It is a very offensive. Is they say Brahman, from Brahman Bhagavan comes. In the sense, Lord takes form like us. Originally, Lord is Nirakar. That is the biggest offense to the Lordship. Param Satya is a person. Purushottam, Shada, Aishwarya, Purna, Bhagavan, featured. And his bodily effulgence is Brahman. They say Ulta. Like that. It's very important two aspects. So, first thing is, they say soul is separated or broken from original. So what they are saying? So now don't get confused. We'll put more time today on 11 to 30. So characteristics of soul will defeat all the arguments of Mayavad and everybody, or scientists or atheists. So atheists, scientists or Mayavadi, they have different understanding of soul. They don't follow Vedas. And we follow Shruti, Vedas, which says soul exists, body is temporary. So all the characteristics of soul which are mentioned from verse 11 to 30 will automatically defeat all the arguments of these atheists, Mayavadis and antithests. Okay. So how to go about it? Let us do one thing, that We'll take this later. We'll go through all the characteristics of the soul. We'll come back, have a revision, and make one concrete understanding about body and soul. Okay? So let us go ahead. So here first Krishna is saying that we always existed. So uh, but anyway, this change of body will happen. So what we have to do? We have to see. Dehino osmin yatha dehe Kamaram Yomanam Jara Tatha Dehantar Praptis Dhiras Tatran. We have to become Dhira. Just see and become sober man. A, a boy, a small boy, or I mean, the child will cry from some petty things. Ah, Dhira personally, if a toy is broken, the child will cry like a human cry. The whole world is gone. But a sober person understands that this is petty thing, right? So this way, there is the dhira. We understand that it is a natural progress. Embodied soul continues to pass in the body from boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, soul has to pass to the another body, right? Otherwise, give me an example. Why this will happen? That say at 7:58 today, 2024, many hospitals all over the world might be giving reports that oh today boy and girl has born. Taking reports happening all continents, but all the and even in animal kingdom also same time in jungle so many. So why there is a disparity? I mean they are not. Some boys will be black, tall. I mean bright. Some may not be handicapped. Some on the road, some on the lavishly hospital which is like AC. Some are very filthy rich, some are middle class. Why this is happening? Why? Previous karma. So they have done something and ended there, and then their life again started based on their activities. That shows that soul always gets another body. And this we can see by birthdays of everybody. So two friends might have birthday same day, but some the intelligent level, economical level, all will be different. If somebody is fat, or anything, everything, because of different activities. So, sober person is not bewildered by the change. So, who is Dhira? Definition of Dhira. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the super soul within, and the nature, both the material and spiritual nature. He is called Dhira, a most sober person. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. Mark it. So, Dhira is the first level of becoming a Vaishnava. Dhira is not one become Dhira means bhakta, pure bhakta. It is the first level, preliminary stage. First we have to become a Dhira, then we'll become a bhakta, then Shuddha bhakta. Okay. So here again, Mayavad. Mayavad theory of oneness of the spirit soul cannot be entertained on the ground that spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces as a fragmental portion. So again, the further it will come that soul cannot be cut. It is eternally separated portion from the separated from the Lord. Now you may ask, what is the date when we were separated? Sanat, eternal. And there will be no time when the soul will get merged. It is never happen. Because it is the soul is insoluble. Insoluble. Soluble means suppose रसना डाल दिया तो क्या हो गया? पानी में रसना बन गया. Soluble. But soul cannot get dissolved in anything. Just like Oil and water, you try anything, what will happen? Oil will float on water. They cannot mix. So these are the qualities which we will see further. Krishna specifically mentioned is insoluble, indestructible, and so on and so forth. So here the Mayavad. So again, such cutting is different, indifferent. Such cutting into different individual souls would make the supreme cleavable or changeable. In the sense, see, a part and parcel cannot be cut. So how can the whole can be cut? Are you getting me? Suppose the paper is there, you made two parts of paper. That means paper can be cut, and you can make further. You can tear the further paper. That is making more flammable. So he is saying the part of paper cannot be cut. Suppose I mean the soul. So how can the main source of the spirit soul, the whole Krishna can be clever? It's not possible. It is against the principles of supreme souls being unchangeable. Krishna now further going to say is that I know past, present, and future. You don't know because I am supreme. You are minute. I am Vibhu. You are Anu. So Krishna can't change. Our body changes. Even we can't change. We don't change. Our body has a different phases of life. So Gita says the fragmental portion of the Supreme exists eternally. Soul exists eternally. That's why we are called Kshara. So we have a tendency to fall down to material nature. That's why we fall and we get a matter around us. We identify ourselves as a body. So these fragmental portions are eternally so, and even after liberation, the individual soul remains the same fragmental. We can't become one. But there is a difference because once liberated, he lives an eternal life of in bliss and knowledge with the Lord. Here we are not in bliss, not in knowledge, and we are away from Krishna, the source. You know, this speaker, if is not charged, then it will automatically start giving noise. Quang, quang, quang. That means I need charging. I have radio also. If he goes beyond that, he says, please charge, please charge. It shouts. Similarly, we are here starting, I want happiness, I want happiness, because we are discharged, no connection with Krishna. If you start serving Krishna, then we are getting happiness. But in the way we are connected, if we are fully connected in the sense, fully surrendered, then we are fully charged. Dhira. And then a Satya devotee who is always the pure devotee who doesn't see anything different than material and spiritual. Okay. So these are the some example we can understand and try to inculcate all this in our day-to-day life because problems will keep on coming. Just like we also had a problem before that the speaker is not working. That a simple thing can make us disturbed. So this particular 13th verse paragraph is important according to as regard to the Mayavad philosophy. So the theory of reflection can be applied to the super soul who is present in each and every individual body and is known as Paramatma. He is different from the individual living entity. When the sky is reflected in water, the reflections represent both the sun and the moon and the stars also. Now, what is the theory of reflection? You understand? So, theory of reflection is the when we have a angle of reflection. Correct. That is the theory of reflection. So here, what what we have to understand when in the sky there are sun, moon, and stars, right? And the water will find the reflection of sun, moon, and stars also individually. The stars can be compared to the living entities and the sun or the moon to the Supreme Lord. So we have to understand people say that in spiritual world, everything become one. It will never happen. They will have their reflections. But the only thing is reflection will not have the complete features of sun, moon, and star. The original sun, moon, and stars have their own identities. Are you getting me? Right now, our Swarup Siddhi is not, we don't know, understand, we don't who we are. But we will come to know, we will be perfect in our position. Just like all the Sakhas and Sakhis have a particular nature which pleases Krishna. Nobody imitate, copies anybody. Here, people actually, we can have 5 Shahrukh Khans also. They will do the same thing. Are you getting me? But there, one will have an individual nature which Krishna likes, and that will the their reciprocity. So, individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna here, and the supreme soul is personality of God, Krishna. They are not on the same level as it will be apparent in the beginning of 4th chapter. If Arjuna is on the level of Krishna then what is the use of Krishna giving knowledge to Arjuna? Both are the same same level. Individual. That means Krishna is also soul and Arjuna is also soul. What is the use of giving knowledge to one another person? So, if both of them are deluded by energy, material energy, then there is no need of one being instructor and instructor. So, such instruction would be useless because in purchase of Maya, no one can be an authoritative instructor. So, the Mayava second understanding is they know that Guru is required. We are in ignorance. But they say once we get knowledge, we become equal with Guru. We don't need Guru. That is Mayava. And Vaishnavism means we always need Guru. We will always have a relationship with Guru as a subservient. We can never supersede Guru. This is the difference. Mayavad means that they just like Prabhupada was in Mayapur, and once there was a water ditch and there was small, they have to jump. So one disciple said, Prabhupada, give me your hand. So he helped Prabhupada cross that small ditch. And as soon as Prabhupada went on the other side, he pushed him. So he got shocked what Prabhupada did. So Prabhupada said, that's what Mayavadi does. They take help of Guru and they say, I don't need you now. Are you getting me? So the Vaishnavism is not like that. There is always the position as Swami and Sevaka. So matra sparshas tu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agama apaino nityas tam stitikshasva bharata. So Gira knows that it is actually difficult to understand the changes. Anything change is a difficult anxiety. We have to tolerate. So Gira tolerates what? Dualities. It will always come. Both. So matra swarsha means it's a sensory perception. Water is same, but it will be very pleasing in summer or cold water. But same water will be anxiety in a winter. So it is the sense of perception. So the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So one devotee was saying that just a Kshatriya will never, a Kshatriya is never fearful of blood. Yeah. As he was saying, devotees are never fearful of cold water. They will never always take cold water bath and go to Mangala. In winter people say, oh, thanda pani. Kshatriya, he will say, somebody, if he sees blood, he will collapse. But Kshatriya, they say, oh, blood. They will fight in those days. Like that, the, the purification of body is the first thing. He never gets fearful of that. Anyway, so one has to learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Don't get disturbed. Tolerate it. So what are Prabhupada's rights? There are four things we have to tolerate. The example is given to understand how even general people do that. Early morning bath in January. We have to take and say, चलो दाढ़ी कर लेता हूँ, हो गया बात. No. Woman cooking in May and June. May and June is the toughest summer, but mother doesn't say, आज अभी नहीं बनाएगा, भूखे रहो. She has to cook. She tolerates that. Again. And similarly, so Mahaprabhu's example is given. Then Mahaprabhu renounced his young wife and old mother as austerities of renounce order of life. So for doing something, we have to tolerate something. So similarly, my dear Arjuna, you have to fight. Why? We have to fight the adharmic elements, to remove the adharmic elements, because as a king, you have to keep a law and order. For that, you have to fight. Even though these adharmic elements are your relative, your closed ones, you have to be as a king. Matras person. So these are the examples you have to. Why? Because you are Kaunte and Bharat. So Kunti Devi tolerated everything. She raised you 5 people, isn't it? Without the husband. She tolerated. She could have said, oh, I can't do, I will go Sati. So they have to do. And Bharata, so all your great heritage is there. They are the people who did everything to keep their royal heritage. So, so great heritage and brings great responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of duty. Nobody will go. There's a person in the village, suppose he is very intelligent and he is responsible. So anything happens, public will go, oh, this happened, tell us what to do. So he can't say, "Hey, jhanjhat mein main nahi gaya." So nobody will go to him. But one who is capable of doing it, he has a responsibility because he has to keep the village in peaceful condition. Same way the king has a kingdom. He has to have that responsibility. He has to take care of it. So prescribed duties are essential for spiritual advancement. So again we'll come back. Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam. Krishna has made this what? Chatur Varna, Jar Varna, four Varna, four Ashrama. So that the society can remain peaceful according to their karma and advances further. So these prescribed duties are because of our psychophysical nature. We have created it by choosing to Rajo, Tama and Sattva in past life. And that's why we have Karmana Daiva Netrena, we have chosen the mother and father, and we have got the particular body. And further, then we again now choose by knowledge Sattva Guna, then again we'll have a nicer body, nicer body. And in the sense, higher the body where we can understand spiritual knowledge more better. But if we degrade, then we can go down also. So these prescribed duties are very important, essential for spiritual development. They fulfill the material desires in regulated means and thus gradually detach one from the bodily concept. Gradually. And allows him to rise to platform of knowledge. Now Arjuna what is he doing? Arjuna is doing not gradually, he wants to become a sannyasi directly. It will never happen because he is not purified within the heart. Fine. So Krishna says, Yam hi na vyasayante te purusham purusharshava sama dukkha sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpate. One, the person who is not disturbed by the happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. So, the very one thing that sober person not disturbed with happiness and distress and is steady in both can attain liberation. Can you imagine? You just said he is staying in calamity but not getting disturbed. That is a visa to follow. I mean, in the sense, first you are actually right candidate there, but then I mean, visa is there, but now you have to show your caliber. कि उधर क्या करने का? You understand? So you have to accept Guru and then start doing what you are planning to do there, and that is the devotional practice. Understanding? So devotional practice means we will never ever think that this seva is low and this seva is good. You know, everything is Krishna, is pleasing to Krishna. We identify it generally. अरे पुजारी सेवा अच्छा है, directly Krishna. You know, I mean, some may come, but it is our intention, how we are eager to serve Krishna, please Krishna in any way. That will actually please Krishna. Whether you are with the deity or far away from the deity. Even with the deities, you may be like in your own world. I am the pujari or anything. I'll give you a simple example. Prabhupada had 5,000 disciples. How many? More than, I mean, around 5,000. So, I mean, it's not that we're just understanding things. Many of them they have got their initiation by letters. You know, I suppose, okay, Robert, I accept you as my disciple. Your name will be like anything, Ram Lakshman Das. So he has accepted, oh, I got Prabhupada, an initiation from Prabhupada. And he continued and still he's some sannyasi and he's doing it. And somebody is like, I accept, he served Prabhupada and he got personally beats from Prabhupada and glorification from that. I mean, maybe. And you might not be, and there are many, those who are not in practice. Are you understanding? So, from the perspective of an observer, you see what is glorious, what is most important. What is most important? Follow the duty. What is the instruction of the spiritual master? How we take it and follow it. That is important than how it has been given to me. Letter आया, शाबाश की आया, या personally he embraced me. Similarly, that applies to how we serve Krishna, where we serve Krishna. So it's our chitta, consciousness matters than the surrounding. What is our consciousness right now while serving? Whether it will be glorification for me after doing this seva, or actually I am doing this for Krishna's pleasure. That is the criteria to make us happy or even miserable. Okay, so the difficulties usually arise from having to severe family relationships to give up the connection of wife and children. But if anyone is able to tolerate such difficulties, surely his path to spiritual realization is complete. This is Prabhupada's purport, and the very important lines I have marked it, that I am giving you understanding that when those who have taken sannyas, so Prabhupada writes, like first vanaprastha or sannyas. So for him, he has to slowly detach from his attachments to his family members. Then he can actually get attached to Krishna. So this will happen, that the family relations have given him happiness and the distance from them will give his unhappiness. But if he stays in equilibrium, then he will be eligible for liberation. He has to be steady. So, given Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, at the age of 24, he renounced the household life. Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayor api drushtantas, tvanayos tattvadarshibhi. So, so there are people who actually sees from the Jnana Chakshu level. We see by material eye, people see by the Jnana Chakshu. So those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existence means the material body, there is no endurance. It will deteriorate time pass. One of our neighbors, he was very fit once. Suddenly he became, it looks like a very old person. Suddenly. This will happen with us also. Suddenly in the sense, so Prabhupada in 1977, he was so weak, he stopped eating and everything. So he was actually very thin. All his disciples were young, 21, 25. So Prabhupada said, don't think that this will not happen with you. It's not making you fearful, but it's the main thing is before that happens, make our life successful. In the sense, try to understand that okay, anything happening in the world will not disturb me from my doing my spiritual duties. Because whatever happens, I have to keep doing this because I have to do it in the spiritual world. Again, then you cannot stop anything in the world. The world will work on its own way. And that is what? Change. Okay. So they said the material body has no endurance. And of the eternal, that is the soul, there is no change. So our body actually, the material body has 6 changes. What are the 6 changes? Birth, then growth, you know, then sustenance, then byproducts, then dwindling, slowly, and then death. So these 6 changes, write down. What everybody, so puppies, ज्यादा बहुत अच्छा दिखता है कि नहीं बहुत थोड़ा ग्रोथ होता है I mean in everybody then sustenance for some time he live then he create byproducts then dwindles मैंने क्या किया जिंदगी में anything and then death but soul never goes through these 6 changes remains same suppose you call like a one old man hey बुड्ढे छोटा बे तू बुड्ढा हो तेरा बाप है कि नहीं why because soul is he always thinks himself I'm young. Soul always feels I'm until young. The body changes. Body is old. He thinks oh no. हम तो मैं अभी तो मैं जवान हूँ. So this is what seeing. His soul is always eternal. There is no change to the soul. The body changes, goes through 6 changes. Like that. Okay. So this is the devotees see the world through the vision of scriptures. Jnana Chakshu. They see by Charma Chakshu also, but understand by Jnana Chakshu. Scriptures, how the things are happening. So they see, they understand from scripture. You cannot understand about soul from any other source. You cannot do experiments to the body. Chalo, aisa samajh. No. You have to know it by hearing from the scripture. So scripture says, Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvavidam tatam vinasham avyasya na kasyit kartum arhasi. that which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable. So we say, I exist, I am the body, but Shastra says you are residing in the body. And whatever happens to the body, you don't get affected because you are soul. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, what is the size of the soul? बालाग्र शत भागस्य शतधा कल्पितस्य च भागो जीवस्य विज्ञेय सचानन्त्याय कल्पते. That if you take upper part of one hair is plucked and upper part of the hair, tip of the hair, if you cut it to 10,000 parts and again take one part and cut into one 10,000, that remains is a size of a soul. So no microscope can actually is capable of showing you the soul. Like, but that soul has the power to say, I am the king. I am enjoyed. Understand? So that is the uh, understanding. So even though it is very small, so that's why no weapon can actually reach to that particular. So that is it is said. So the characteristic of a soul is avinashi, imperishable. Know it, imperishable. Next is antavanta ime deha nitya syukta sharirina anashino aprameyasya tasmad yujjasva bharata. Now the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore fight, O descendant of Bharata. Although the soul is indestructible, whichever body he has taken is going to come to an end. Is sure to come to an end. कोई भी body, even Lord Brahma, any all 14 planetary systems, whichever body a soul gets has a expiry date. Although the soul is indestructible. Therefore, don't lament and fight with this proper understanding. Okay. य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभोतो न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते. We are going ahead and then again come back to revise, to understand what from the purpose, what are there and how, what are the characteristics of soul, the soul. So neither who thinks the living entity as a slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is the slay. In the sense that both who say that the soul can be killed, or those who are saying that soul will be killed, they are in knowledge. They are not in knowledge. So now this may be taken by some stupid person and say, "Arey, फिर बाद में मारते रहो इसको देखे नहीं." One film also came. Somebody told me that that Gita says, "Lo मरते नहीं." And so I mean, soul doesn't die. No, the Shastric injunction is Ma himsa sarvabhutani. Ma means no. You cannot kill anybody. If you commit violence to anyone, what will happen? The killing of the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of state as well as the law of the Lord. So the question may come that does the immortality of the soul recommend violence? The soul is immortal. We can kill. Is it right? So we have to give this first understanding that Shastric Indian, otherwise somebody will quote Gita and start killing. So we have to, the first in Vedic English, yeah. so, so Vedic injunction says, "Ma hinsa, never ever commit violence to any living entity." That is without authority. In the sense, here Krishna is giving a reason that a Kshatriya is a king. He has a responsibility to uproot the what adharmic elements to save the kingdom. We'll come up to this. Just like the justice of peace, that means the judge can give capital punishment to the condemned person. But judge cannot be blamed because he has to keep a law and order. So he knows he has a responsibility. So the criteria to use violence also, how to understand what is the criteria of violence, how to use the violence. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable. So violence has proper utility under authority, just like a knife is there. If a knife is there in the hand of thief, then if he kills, he will be punished. But same type of knife is in the hand of doctor. He will pay him. Arey, oh, tumor nikalo. Again, you are our God. You have saved the life of the person. So he has used the same thing. He has cut the body. He has also cut the body. But one is punished heavily, but other is praised, given money. So similarly, Arjuna is like a doctor who is going to remove the tumor of Duryodhan, Kali, personified. So that the Kuru dynasty, in the sense, the whole kingdom can be healthy. So under the authority of Krishna. So that's why this violence is recommended. So these two analogies are important, right? The justice of peace and the knife advised on with in the hand of doctor. So it doesn't recommend the killing whimsically, but to remove the adharmic elements in the society, king has to be responsible. He can't be non-violent. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भवितावा न भूयः अजो नित्यं शाश्वतो अयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमानेषु. For the soul, there is no birth nor death at any time. We say happy birthday to you, beginning, or his death anniversary. Soul is eternal. You know, तो पार्टी का बहाना चाहिए. पार्टी चाहिए बर्थडे मनाते हैं. But so he has not come into being, does not come into being, and will never come into being. He is unborn. So we can't say when this Anu became Anu from Vibhu. Eternal, unborn. He is eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So that's why it is said that the soul undergoes no changes like the body. That's why the soul is called sometimes kutastha, means steady. Just like we have explained, our old man also thinks, I am a young man. That is, he is steady. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformation. What are they? Birth, remain sometime, grow, produces some effect, gradually dwindles and vanishes into oblivion, death. Like that. So the soul, however, does not go through such changes. What is meaning of primeval? That is, there is no trace in the history of his coming into being. At one point of time, this soul has emerged as a living entity. like that. So what is the symptom of soul? We say, oh, soul is there. Right? Light. So what is that? Power. Consciousness. Just like if somebody is alive, if we punch him, so he will actually revolt back or he will cry. But a dead body is there, even if you keep punching him, he is dead. The consciousness is gone. Right? So consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Understand? Similarly, the Prabhupada gives example that the sun in the sky. How can you understand the sun has come? Sunlight. Sunlight will give pervade everywhere. Similarly, if soul is there means in the body means conscious. Hair pulled, if you prick at the leg, that means consciousness is there. The sun in the sky. Prabhupada writes, Veda vinashitam nityam ya enam ajam avyayam katham sa purusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. How can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? So, Prabhupada, everything has its proper utility. So here Prabhupada gives the surgical operation as to meant to kill a patient, not to. A surgical operation is not meant to kill a patient, but to cure him. So that is the way we have to understand the criteria to use violence. So similarly, Arjuna has to, with full knowledge of soul, he has to remove the unwanted adharmic element in the society. So in that way, he will not incur any sinful reaction. Just like a doctor will not be punished for removing the tumor. So this is Manu Samhita understanding. वासांसु जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless. So change of body by the atomic individual soul is an accepted fact. Right? Everybody knows that from childhood to boyhood to youth, everything is changed on the soul bodily level. So here, 2.22. So Prabhupada writes that this verse should help Arjuna to overcome his lamentation and material compassion, because right now Bhishma and Drona are getting killed in the righteous fights. So last paragraph of this verse, it is said that Arjuna should rather be happy to kill Dronacharya and Bhishma, so that they may cleanse at once of all the reactions of this body. What are the reactions? Supporting Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Adharma, they have supported Adharma. So they are now become sinful. So by killing them in the righteous fight, they will get cleansed. And if they die in the battle, they will achieve heaven. Someone who lays down his life on a sacrificial altar or in the proper battlefield is at once cleansed of bodily reaction and promoted to a higher status of life. So in Vedic scriptures, there are two ways, not in Kali Yuga. Before that, Brahmana, if he gives a Yagya Bali with proper recitation of mantra, then that animal, horse or someone, he automatically would get a human body. Because that is a mantra, the Yagya, where the the potency of mantra is activated. And by doing this, at the end of life, the person would go back to heaven. So one who is properly does this yajna, he will achieve heaven. Because he is giving the animal a, a benefit of not going through the cycle of natural cycle. Otherwise, wo ho jayega. Or we are taking human form of life very lightly, very cheaply. Oh, mil gaya. We have to go through all the species of life and then we get a human form. So that's why one who does this and directly get human form of body, so he is promoted. Sometimes you take a ticket S1, S1 49, and they say you are promoted to B3. So अरे pocket में पैसा नहीं दो. This is promotion. है कि नहीं? Similarly, the horse becomes animal. But then in Kali Yuga, what has started happening? The proper Brahmana standards were not there. So the killing, the yajnas were happening, but the soul was not getting any promotion because proper yajna was not happening. So that's why that was stopped. Yajnas, okay, stop. So Buddhism, I mean, Lord Buddha came. He said, give it up. People are just doing yajna just to eat meat for time being. But again, Shankaracharya came and said, okay, that was temporary situation. We need Veda. We brought up again Veda. Okay, like this is happening. So here, just like Brahmana, the rule when he does sacrificial sacrifice properly, he can go to heaven. Similarly, Kshatriya, if he fights in the battle and dies, he'll go to peeth nahi dikhane. Okay. So there is no cause of lamentation. Why? If Arjuna wins, what happens? Entire kingdom is there to as a happiness. He's the king of entire. Or if he dies, achieve heaven. And here, Bhishma there, if he is killed, he is going to get heaven to be happy that your Pitama is going to heaven. Like that. So he will get new body. Vasam Siddhivana. Now 23 to 25, again, same things are again emphasized. जैसा suppose somebody is in ignorant, पहली बार सुन रहा है, so he will not understand it properly. So again bombarded in, oh, Acharya. So again say, Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Nainam Dahati Pavaka, Na Chainam Kledayanti Apu, No Shoshasti Maruta. The soul can never be cut to pieces by weapon. So why this is given? Because we think whatever can kill body will kill soul. It is segregated, I mean, it is specifically emphasized that nothing, no weapon can touch soul. So cut means your sword cannot kill, nor burned by fire. Brahmastra maro nahi hota hai. Nor moistened by water. It cannot be drowned, not withered by the wind. Achedyoyam adayoyam aya akledyo ashushya evacha nitya sarvagata stano achaloyam tanat. The individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried. Unbreakable and insoluble. Same, repeat, can't be merged with Krishna body. Not dried, burned. He is everlasting. Present everywhere. Present everywhere means, we see, if we suppose a wooden old building is there, if you cut the wood, we'll find thousands of worms there. We don't know. Inside the wood, there is a whole colony. Yeah? Termite. So there is a all animal kingdom everywhere. So Prabhupada once was going and he was specifically pointing out this, and he said, if I push my cane in the earth, within that particular hole, there will be many earthworms. There are so many living entities living. So everywhere there is a Sarvagata. The soul can go everywhere. So we think, there is nobody in the moon, on the moon. Krishna says, Prabhupada says, there is the living entities are there, even the sun planet. Vivasman, how he is living on sun planet? He has a fiery body. And king means Praja is there. King can't live alone. Even scientists know that there are some bacteria they can stay in the fire also. They can't be burned. Abhimante. So how can stay there? Sarvagata. So that is why Achala is there. Achala means a soul is one who cannot be driven by anything but his own inspiration. That is what our minute independence is there. So our what is it called? Gajendra says, what he says that in one verse he says, Kalena, he says that there is one thing which destroy, cannot be destroyed in this world. Everything will be destroyed. What is not going to be destroyed? This Kala can destroy everything in this material world, but he cannot destroy one thing. I mean, in the sense, what and souls, in the sense, what is that? Ichha. Because independence is there, desire. He says, okay, I am destroying with whether we want to get liberated or nahi, bhaiya aur marega idhar. ठीक है, रहो. Again, nirmit and creation will happen. Again, I'll take it. So it's kalena ichha. So Kal is a Krishna. He also cannot. He doesn't interfere with our minute independence. This is karo jo karna. That's why Sarvagata. This is sab देखूंगा. सब all yonis में करोड़ों बार जाके देखूंगा whether I can become happy. So that is why Sarvagata. देखो, some people are there. I mean, they are very rich. They say ये आगे देखेगा. और you know that वो rafting करते ना उधर ऋषिकेश. One devotee is there. He said it's very dangerous. I mean, he probably. So he said, I know I am a bhakta. I am I should not be doing any frivolous activities. I did that once, and again they do. Again I went there. I know I should not do that. It is like suicide. Sometimes actually you get broken, your limbs are broken. Yeah, rafting, I don't know how many have done. But I'm just saying one example. He knows it. He is saying in the Bhagavatam. That is what is something within us which drives us to go everywhere. ये भी जाओ उधर अभी इधर नहीं गया mountaineering. अभी now there was a time when Everest. I mean, very few people used to go to Everest. Now you type Everest. Line में जाते लोग. And it's very dangerous. If you fall, you are gone. Everest everywhere snow. आने का नहीं कुछ नहीं. Still there is I have to go. There in backside there is one person bike पे जाता है. Even rainy season he goes to Lonavala नहीं होता. बोला अरे दरअसल गिर जाएगा. Adventure है. Anyway, I mean, so now we may think they have their own adventure. We have our own adventure. Everybody has. So Sarvagata means that is what Sarvagata. And Achalo means our own inspiration. So don't understand, don't come into this identity that like Yamaraj sab khich lega. And even Kala cannot do that. So our mind body intelligence is Sukshma. What? Our Sukshma body. I mean the what is Sukshma body? Subtle body. So when we die, there's a picture. Have you seen Ajamil? So there are ropes. So these are not ropes, nylon ropes. The ropes used by Yamadutas are not nylon ropes. They are special ropes for subtle body. So this within the universe, The higher planets, they decide to give us what? Our the gross body. So Yamana, the punishment is done to the subtle body, given subtle body gets some punishment body. So mind, intelligence, ego, they carry our upadhi. Then I am still there. जो भी उपाधि है ना, body is gone, dress is gone. Again. So with that subtle body, all our ichas will go. अच्छा मेरे को कहाँ जाना है? Are you getting me? So the situation and our inspiration is there uh, where we are kicked. So last, what is that? अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम. Is next is what is verse? यम यम वापि. So यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम तम तमे तम यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्यज्यति अन्ते कलेवरम तम तमे वेति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भाव. So now yam yam and tam tam, what is that? So at that point where whatever the subtle body thinks, oh, Switzerland jana rahi gaya. So that there he goes. Which body? Karma decides. Either human or dog or whatever. Getting me a cockroach. Whatever bhav is there, tam tame veti kaunte. Tam tame veti means you have to go. So that inspiration is there. Whose inspiration? Achalo. Achalo means he is steady otherwise. He moves by his own inspiration. समझ गए कि नहीं? Otherwise nobody can drive him to spiritual. Chalo spiritual. He owned this side. Steady. Achalo. Otherwise he stay. वो खुद better है. Got it? Any confusion? Hmm. And Nitya, you know, he is everlasting. अव्यक्तोयम अचिंतोयम अविकार्यो अयम उच्यते तस्मात् एवं विदित्वेन नानु सोचितुम अर्हसि. अरे 9 बज गया. अरे तुम लोग बोलने का ना पहला. मैं तो अपना फ्लो में जा रहा. इधर ही रुकते हैं. We will continue this because see I don't stop here recording.